So whether you're building a robot for an industrial automation system, a control system for a vehicle, or maybe a wearable device like a smartwatch, for example, design decisions for embedded systems like these probably start with the microcontroller or the microprocessor. They're the chips that are controlling the central functions of your system and also monitoring and responding to sensor inputs around it. Things like processing power and speed, security features, wireless and wired connectivity. These are all things that come into play when deciding on the right approach. You may be building systems that require a range of processor capabilities that you can leverage easily across your entire product portfolio. The ability to easily scale MCU or MPU solutions with your requirements is important, but it doesn't stop there. It's also important to have access to easy-to-use development software, board platforms, and code examples to get your designs to production quickly. NXP Semiconductors is one of the companies leading the market with a wide range of solutions in the MCU and MPU space. And today I have the pleasure of speaking with Justin Mortimer, Technical Marketing Director with the Secure Connected Edge Business Unit. Justin, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks, Richard. It's great to be here. I'm really excited to get to do this with you today.
So Justin, do you mind starting us off by introducing your role at NXP and the mission of your BU?
Yeah, sure. So first, I've been here at NXP for 17 years, and I feel all this time for all these years has really culminated into a position that I'm really excited about getting to be a part of and leading a team. It's really about making, complex technology more accessible. My role is to scale, all the great products and technologies that our engineers are developing to the broader market, and really with a big focus on industrial and IoT from a end markets perspective, and then also really from a microcontroller and processor point of view from a product standpoint. Now that includes connected MCU too, but that's really the mission, is to bring these edge processing products to a broad base of customers across the industrial and IoT market.
So NXP was established in 2006. So the company's coming up on 20 years here pretty soon. But your history extends much further back when you consider your origins with Philips and Motorola Semiconductor. In fact, just as a side note, I encourage our audience to take a look at the NXP history timeline on your website if they haven't already. It actually starts from about 1950 and shows a pretty impressive list of innovations over that time. But Justin, as you look back at what NXP has accomplished over the years and the company's position in the embedded market today, what would you say are some of the standout areas where you've seen success?
Well, that's a good question. Over 50 years, I guess even if you just looked over the 20 years, um, there's a lot of innovative things that have happened. You know, I would say if you go back far enough, I think with what Motorola and Freescale, because we're all part of a now big team that has many roots. Whether those roots came from Philips or Motorola or Freescale and NXP, but we're all together as one team. But it was really kind of developing the beginning of what's now become a pretty impressive microcontroller strategy in the industry. With kind of the Motorola heritage, there was a strong heritage and a strong base of innovation around connectivity. Whether it be our secure payment capability with the secure element in the NFC, which led into our UWB offering. We have a long history building and winning in the market with sensors and interface products, with like CAN transceivers and all different types of, Ethernet PHYs and so on. So, there's really a pretty diverse, innovative history that I feel has really culminated into a very nice position in the market that will help us go, forward and do a lot of new innovative things, as the combined team. Now, of course, we've been a combined team for probably 7+ years, but there's a long history and a really exciting future, I think, as a company.
The scale of your portfolio is impressive when you consider the general purpose microcontrollers at the lower end of your portfolio, extending up to the applications processors on the upper end. And I'm sure many in our audience have seen the parade of announcements from NXP around your new MCX microcontroller series, as well as your latest IMX9 series of applications processors. But in addition to the silicon releases that you've come out with, NXP has also really stood out with your emphasis on enablement, especially with your Freedom Development Board strategy, for example. I'm running a specialist team here at Future that assists customers with embedded products, and we've seen time and time again just how important it is to have a solid enablement strategy to support any serious product roadmap. So, Justin, what are the current mega trends that are shaping the specific investments your team is making in the embedded space, especially looking at development tools like Freedom Boards to enable customers, for example?
Well, I think maybe two key. Well, I mean, one major thing, and I don't know if it's necessarily new, but it's certainly becoming more important is time to market and how to do more with less resources because we all are so super busy, and there's a lot of new technology, and I think the new technology can bring efficiency and lots of different benefits. But like, how do you actually come up to speed on complex technology in a way that doesn't disrupt our management's goal of bringing things to market quickly, whether it's at our company or at one of our customers. And the enablement that we build is trying to help make that journey easier, so that way we can still have highly complex technology, but we package it in a way and deliver it in a way with our partners, and make that journey that much easier, so that we can still focus on innovation, and primarily focus on the application development, but the fundamentals are there and packaged in a way that the time to market can be really simplified and shortened. Yeah.
So, on the topic of your Freedom Board offering, can you say more about what NXP offers customers when it comes to the wider ecosystem of support surrounding those platforms? Things like code examples, AI models, and any additional points that you can make about your overall developer experience in general?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm really passionate about the Freedom Board. I think it's been a big part of my experience here at the company, and a big focus for me personally with my team. And it's we've if you go back to Kinetis, right, and Freescale, we had the Freedom platform, but we evolved it because we're a new team, a new company, and we have a new focus, and going, I think, in a great direction around the industrial market. So we wanted to bring some of the spirit of what we had done in the past, but then bring it to the future. And what we did is we leveraged a lot of what was working well with these scalable, modular, cost-effective boards. But to your point, we added in new things, and new capability. And I think a big aspect of it is really the application code examples. That's something that although we strived towards in the past, we didn't have them as well packaged in a way that helped customers get to market quickly. And so, I think the combination of the development platform with the focus on software and tooling, together with application code snippets or code examples, and more documentation, I think is really helping to set us up for a great path into the future.
Finally, Justin, NXP offers much more than embedded products. And I thought perhaps you could leave us with a few examples of some of the other attached product technologies offered by NXP that developers should consider when designing their systems. Some things other than the MCUs and MPUs that we've been talking about.
Yeah, yeah, thanks. Yeah, I would love to. And I mean, the other thing too, by the way, is there's a lot of new, base technology. So like, whether it be, enabling Wi-Fi 6, our Tri Radio in the Freedom platform, or I brought some show and tell, right? But like, we brought Freedom into the world of i.MX, and you know the the spirit is the same. It's about making complex technology more accessible through enablement that allows you to build, modular, um, solutions or applications in a quick and efficient way. Um, and so it's all about like connecting things together, and that you realizing you can't do everything just with the base board. And so what we've tried to do is standardize the connectors on the boards. Now, some of the microcontroller based boards have like a microbus connector or Arduino connector, and whereas the i.MX solution has a 40-pin connector here, and these things allow us to connect different type of expansion boards or shields. For example, as a company, we're doing a number of different things, with Micro E, one of our partners, and what that allows us to do with the microbus connector is really enable a suite of sensing capability. And so that we can plug these sensors into, the base Freedom board, and through the application code hub with all the rich examples that we offer, you can really start to do a lot of cool, use case exploration and application development. So it's the combination of the modularity in the boards and the consistency in those boards, together with those application examples that allow, customers to explore a pretty broad range of industrial use cases.
Justin, I really appreciate you taking the time to share your insights with me today. And thanks also to our audience for joining. If you're starting a new project, maybe interested in taking a look at MCX microcontrollers, i.MX9 applications processors, or maybe some other product families from NXP, future electronics engineers are here to help, and we can guide you from part selection through production. Please feel free to reach out to us at shapingthefuture@futureelectronics.com, here on the screen in all one word, shapingthefuture@futureelectronics.com. Thanks for joining us today on the Current Executive Insights, and we look forward to seeing you again next time.